What's going on, everyone? So, a few things have gotten done since the last video. I got another set of rods, going to pick up a new motor, hopefully this week, which today's Wednesday. I'm hoping to take off Friday and go get a motor. And I have two Speeduino ECUs. And I got to thinking, one's for the hatch, one's for the Del Sol if I ever get mad at the micro squirt and decide I need sequential fuel and ignition. But I got to thinking, I can take that ECU and I can record a van. So this van popped up for $500. Had a few things wrong with it. I put about $100 into it and got it all fixed. And I tied the Speeduino into it to data log what that car is doing. I actually put a wideband on the car, and then I tied the harness into the van harness and started data logging. So now I have an AFR map, I have the ignition map, I have all that I need, and I can use that data on the Del Sol. I can get the cruising side of that buttoned up and get it to where it's cruising like a factory motor. And then it will help me with the issue that happened with this motor. We'll get to that. I got the fuel pump for the hatch, the Magna Fuel 750. My cousin upgraded his finally. That will power that motor nicely. And if we need more fuel, well, we'll sell that one and get a bigger one. So let's get down to this motor, because everything I said in the last video about this motor was pretty much wrong. I mean, even down to the cylinder. I said it was cylinder 5 that spun the bearing or squished the bearing, and it was actually cylinder number 2. But that brings up another point. It did not squish this bearing. The boost and that low RPM did not make that bearing go out. I don't believe that anymore. I had a few people reach out to me. We had extensive conversations on it, and the more we talked, the more I realized they're right. They're absolutely right. We believe that it was a fuel contamination issue. And the more we talked, the more it made sense, because the day before the dyno, I was out cruising and I had 2 injectors fail. Normally, that would not be a problem. That would just cause it to run lean. Now, remember, we only have one wideband sensor that we're reading both banks through. So the micro squirt would have ran lean. The issue is because I was out cruising the day before the dyno, I was trying to get the fuel map corrected in a little bit better, and I had auto tune in. So the other 4 cylinders were trying to make up the difference in the air fuel ratio. So these 4 cylinders were just flooded with fuel. Now, I only put about 40 to 60 miles on it, but I think it was enough that it actually did the damage. It scraped the bearings, and this just happened to be the first one that went out. Now, whenever I limped it home, I didn't run the crap out of it or anything. I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what it was. So I limped it home. And whenever I diagnosed it that night, the 2 injectors had failed. So I replaced the 2 injectors. I had 2 spares. I put them in. I changed the spark plugs out, and I changed the oil. Absolutely changed the oil. Went to the dyno the next day, and it was running a little rich on the dyno still, but we did get it leaned out. So we had the dyno runs, and then we had the 3 runs at the track. I pulled the oil the next day, and after I was talking to a few people about the whole oil contamination, I put some used oil in a container, and then I put some brand new oil, same everything, put it in another container. I put a dipstick in it, and whenever I transferred it over, I timed it. I did this test 3 times for each side. The used oil, which has only got the dyno runs and the 3 drag runs, it took 4 seconds for all the oil to run off the dipstick. For the new oil, it took 20 seconds. Pretty much had to be it. So that's what I believe that happened now. I don't know if I want to delete the other video. I hate putting misinformation out there. It's not correct. I think for now I'll put it in the description and then I'll point that video to this one saying, hey, messed up, bad information. And if too many people catch on to it or they're not going to the next video, I'll just delete the video. I hate misinformation being out there like that. So that's what happened. It kind of sucks, but we do have the new rods. I do have another set of bearings. I got another set of rings ordered. They're supposed to be in tomorrow. I'll have to get the main bearings ordered. If not, I'll just go to Honda and buy them through them. So I've pretty much given up on the hatch this year. Hopefully it'll run this year, but I'm definitely not going to get a drag run in this year like I wanted to. I'm way too far behind for that. But hopefully I'll get some snow days in and be able to get this thing together. So I'm shifting all my focus over to the Del Sol. I'm going to try to get another motor this week. Hopefully by next weekend we can have it rebuilt, maybe even put back in, and hopefully I can get some miles on it next weekend. Next Sunday, whatever. So that'll be it for today. We'll catch you guys in the next video.